Hi, everybody. I'm in the chair again today. I wanted to talk to you about dreamers. My mom used to say all the time that of all of my children, Mark is my dreamer. Mark wants to do everything, and I mean everything. And nine times out of 10, I actually do it. But it always got me in trouble. And I wouldn't say trouble, but more like people didn't understand. Why is he all over the place? Why does he want to do this and he wants to do that? I wanted to be a fashion designer when I was a kid. I also wanted to be a minister, and that's something that I've carried with me my entire life. In another video, I'll tell you my story when it comes to my journey in church. And it's very inspiring when you actually hear exactly what happened and how I got to this point right now. But everything that I've ever wanted to do, I always tried to do it because trying was something that I wasn't never afraid to do. I was never afraid to try to do something. And my father always told me, if you don't try, you'll never know if it's something that you can do or something that you would be interested in. So um, I gave it a try. I gave it a try of everything that I wanted to do. My father was a tailor, and he wanted to be a costume designer on Broadway. This is something that he told me years and years ago. But he had all of these kids, and once you start having children, your life isn't yours. So, and also as a black man, there wasn't anybody doing that. Not black men. We weren't allowed to even go to the theater on Broadway. Nonetheless, trying to design the clothing that the actors and actresses wore. So, that was something that I wish that dream had came true for him, but it never did. But he did, went to tailoring school, and he actually learned how to do that. And he was an unbelievable tailor. Unbelievable tailor. And I picked up that skill myself. I wanted to learn and follow in his footsteps to be able to do what he did because it seemed so interesting. And anything that was creative, I wanted to do. I wanted to do. So I taught myself how to sew. He tried to teach me. That didn't happen too well because I'm not that person. I like to skip steps. That's a problem for somebody trying to teach me something. Um, he would give me, he would chalk out on a piece of remnant fabric straight lines, and he would put me on the sewing machine, and he would say, okay, stay on the line and run up and down these lines. So I did that. When I finished the very last line, I said to him, okay, Daddy, let's make a coat. And he said, how in the world are you going to make a coat and you just learn how to sew a straight line? I said, I got this, Daddy. Let's just do this. He was like, I can't teach you. I can't teach you. So he got frustrated and said, okay, I'm not going to do this with you. So you're going to have to figure this out on your own. I did. I did. And I can make a coat. I can make a coat, you know. I can sew a dress, and I just figured it out. I figured it out. Just like everything else I've ever done, I figured it out. I taught myself. I taught myself. And that's the dreamer in me that actually made that happen. Um, that gave me the idea that I wanted to be in fashion. So I got a job. One of the first jobs that I ever had as a window dresser for a company called Whitney's. Some people may remember that who lived back in the 80s, in the early 90s. There was a store called Whitney's, Stewart's here in town. They were from New Jersey. And I used to dress all of the mannequins in the store, of all the stores in town. And I think at that time there was 6 or 7 that I used to travel from store to store and do all of their store displays. That was an incredible job. An incredible job. I got to actually put to use the fashion sense that I had and the fashion sense that I had gained, because I was one of those people that other boys used to get, like athletic magazines and things like that. I got bridal design magazines and fashion magazines, and I studied what was in fashion, what was new, what was trending, and I knew what was going to be in fashion in the very next season. And I was always right. I was always right. And then that's when I started picking up my sketch pad and started designing clothes on my own. Um, and I was really good. I was really good, and I was right on point when it came to what was trending and what was fashionable and the woman's body. I could look at a woman and knew exactly what size she wore, and that I was never wrong. And it was such a weird thing for a man to be able to do, but I could really understand the female form, and it was such a creative job that I loved every moment of it. I loved every moment of it. Um, of course, I let the world come in and take that away from me. Um, I don't understand what that was all about, but then I've always felt like I had forces against me of being happy. And I couldn't figure out exactly why these things always happen. I could never hold on to anything. But then there was always another dream that I had that I would come to try to make that come true. So, um, fashion wasn't the only thing that I was always interested in. You know, food was one thing. Um, there was oh my gosh, painting. I loved art. I took art throughout all school. Every single year, every art class that I could take, I took. Um, and I was good at that too. Not that, now I don't want you to think that this is a video that I can sit here and say, hey, Mark is good at everything. I wasn't. There were some fails. There were some fails. And there were some things. But a dreamer does what he can do. What he can't do, he picks another dream. He picks another dream. But things that I had no idea that I could do, they weren't just a dream, but they were given to me by God. Um, if you think about dreams, everything that we have right now, the conveniences that we have in the world, they were made by dreamers. Somebody dreamed of flying through the air like a bird, and a dreamer created the airplane. Somebody thought of going from A to B in 60 seconds or less. A dreamer created a car. Everything that we wear were made by dreamers. And these dreams came about from God because God felt that there was a need in this world for those things. And God put that notion in a dreamer's head to make that happen. So dreamers are very important to the world. But, and I want you to listen closely, dreamers are always looked at as flighty, as unpredictable. They're also looked at as not reliable or indecisive. They don't never know what they want to do. They go from place to place. They're all over the place. They're doing this and they're doing that and they don't complete anything. That's not the truth. That's not the truth. If it didn't work, it didn't work. If it worked, it was great. But you couldn't explain it because dreamers make things out of nothing. Absolutely nothing. You don't know where it comes from. You don't know why it happens. You don't even understand how does that person even know how to do that. It's a gift from God. How many times have you seen a little child sit at a piano and play? And you wonder, this child has never had a lesson. Where did they get that from? It's just something that they've known how to do that was given to them by God because there was a need. The world needed to hear what was being played. So I've tried my best to be able to make every dream come true because I know I didn't come up with these things on my own. I didn't. And it's not that I was indecisive or flighty, as they say. You know, it was the fact that I couldn't figure out deep down inside what my purpose was. So you do everything that you can possibly do to make that purpose known to you. Plus, you get to do something that's creative that you can create from nothing and make it something beautiful. And that's something that I've always wanted to do ever since I was a kid. I wanted to surround myself with everything that's beautiful. That's beautiful. So dreamers are very, very important to have in your life. They very are. But as a dreamer, I don't always know exactly what's next because I just can't find that one thing that makes me happy that I want to do for the rest of my life. And I don't think that that one thing even exists. I could never be that person who could go on a job and work for the rest of your life doing that one thing. That wasn't me. That wasn't me. That it just didn't make any sense to me that anybody would do that. Now, to other people, to find that one thing that they're good at, that one thing that's lucrative, and it gives them that opportunity to make the life that they need to have. That in doing that one job every single day, it's just, that's amazing to me that they did that and it's okay for them. But it's just never been my life. I could never do that. I could never do that. And people look at me like, what's going on with him? Why is he jumping from one thing to another? I heard a lot of that in the last year and a half when I wanted to open up a bakery. And then all of a sudden, I wanted to go to seminary. Now, if you really knew me, you knew going to seminary was something that wasn't a dream. That was a calling. Opening a bakery was a dream. But I switched from one thing to the other. And it was like, oh, this is just one more thing that Mark wants to do. You know what? He'll go to seminary for a little while and then, he'll get tired of that and then he'll jump to something else. Maybe he'll want to be an astronaut. That's the mindset of those that are around me. They don't understand what's wrong with him. What is he looking for? What is going on? Why can't he settle for one thing? Why can't he put his mind to doing one thing? I can't. I can't. Because God put so much inside of me. How can I just settle for one thing? How is that possible? I can't I can't do it, and I've never been able to do it, and I will never stop dreaming. I will never stop dreaming because God knows there's a need. There's a need. All of the dreams that all dreamers actually dream, it isn't for them. These dreams are for the world. You're supposed to create these things and take those dreams and give it to the world. That is the purpose of a dreamer, to create life, to create possibility. So all of those dreamers that are out there struggling from thing to thing, don't worry about it. Don't worry about it. Create, inspire. People are looking, people are seeing. You're inspiring other people to be able to go out into this world and create on their own. You're giving hope to the public. You're giving hope to your friends and to your family that anything can happen. Anything is possible. Anything is possible. Don't stop. Continue. If you jump from one thing to another, that's fine. That's fine. You will find a way to end one thing and start something else. It doesn't matter because we are only given one life. And for dreamers, our purpose in life is to create, is to inspire. So do those things. Don't stop. Don't ever stop being who you are, because that is who you were created to be, a dreamer. I'm so glad that I have an opportunity to sit down and talk to everyone about every little thing. The next video, I will go deeper into my journey in the church and where I came from, where I want to go. Hopefully, that will inspire someone who is sitting down right now thinking to themselves, I hear an inner voice inside of me, and I don't know why. It keeps yearning that I can't let go of something because you're not supposed to. You have to let go of what you feel like you want to do and take a hold of what God wants you to do. Because you're not here just to be here. I've said this in my first sermon that God did not create us to be ordinary. God created us to be extraordinary. And if you're not sharing what God has given to you, you're wasting God's time. Don't waste God's time because you are the chosen person to make that happen. You may not feel chosen. You may feel like this is something that I can't do, but try. Try to make that happen. Listen. Just sit down quietly and listen. That voice inside of you is God talking to you and telling you, this is what I need you to do. It's okay. The unknown isn't frightening, especially when you're dealing with God, because God would never give you anything that would hurt you. Will it be difficult? At times. At times it will be difficult. But God will give you the strength to overcome those difficult moments. Will you think that where is this inspiration coming from? Just listen to God and God will give you that inspiration. This is for the kingdom that God is trying to create. Dreamers have been in this world ever since the beginning of time. And right now, with everything that we're going through in this world, there was one dreamer that dreamed that all races of people would live in harmony and love each other. And that was Martin Luther King. And he wanted this world to be one. Well, that dream hasn't come true yet, but we're growing stronger and stronger every day. So people are listening to God. People are listening to each other. And that's the key, to listen to each other. Listen to each other. Hear the pain that someone else is going through. See yourself and those around you. How could you possibly hate them? How could you possibly hate them if you see yourself in them? Love everyone. That was the one dreamer that I follow, and that's Jesus. He wants us all to love each other. Is that an easy task? Not since the beginning of time. Little by little, we are doing that. And if you can inspire one person, then that dream was worth everything. Because that one person will inspire one person. And then that person will inspire one person. You see how that works? Dreams are good. And a dreamer is a necessary person. So be that person. Be that dreamer. Love each other and love yourself. Until the next video, I hope you have a wonderful, wonderful life, and that you will take hold of everything in your life that you want to do and achieve it. Achieve it as best as you can. Hold on to God and let God guide you through these changes in your life. God bless you and have a wonderful, wonderful day. Until the next video, be blessed. Bye.